The Visit is the latest film written and directed by M. Night Shaymalan, and it's about these two kids whose grandparents haven't ever seen them because them and their daughter, who's the kid's mother obviously, had a falling out years and years ago. And so one day, out of the blue, the grandparents contact their daughter and ask if the kids can come and visit them. Their mother reluctantly agrees, and so the two kids go to a small town in Pennsylvania where they are going to stay for a week with their grandparents. Everything seems normal at first, but then the more they stay, the more they realize that their grandparents may be a little strange. In fact, they're a little creepy. Now, I'm sorry that this review is a month late. Honestly, I just kind of procrastinated. Work got in the way, life got in the way. And then stuff happened. But here it finally is, and I'm going to try to keep reviews a little more timely from now on. So here's my review of The Visit. Shaymalan is doing found footage with this movie, and to a lot of people, both of those are bad signs. Shaymalan and found footage. Shaymalan, as I've talked about, I don't completely hate up to The Village. So I was at least a little bit hopeful, especially from the trailers, because the trailers look very simplistic, and I'll get to why that is a little later. And with the found footage, I don't hate found footage horror. I really don't. There's a lot of mediocrity in there. Oh, don't get me wrong. But, some like As Above, So Below, I don't think it was as bad as some people made it out to be. I thought it was alright. I thought it was legitimately creepy at times. A few of the Paranormal Activity sequels, the earlier ones at least, were creepy. So I was interested to see what Shaymalan would do with this idea, and honestly, it worked. First off, the explanation to why there even is found footage in this movie is a good explanation. It's that the oldest daughter is trying to be a filmmaker. She wants to be a documentarian. So she's going to document their reunion with their grandparents, which kind of makes sense. She's making it for her mother. She wants to get interviews from the grandparents talking about her mother and all this stuff. It actually adds up. It's a good reason to why they're filming all this stuff. It explains really everything, honestly. I mean, there's always that moment in the found footage movie where it's like, why are you still filming this? But they're still filming it because it's a found footage movie. But, besides that, it makes sense. Also, the fact that this is a simplistic story that way. Simplicity works best with Shaymalan. If you've noticed, Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, they were always really simple stories. A kid can see dead people, and Bruce Willis is trying to help him cope with it. Bruce Willis finds out he's a superhero. And aliens attack a small family in a small farmhouse. Very simplistic, and those are his best films. Even The Village had a level of simplicity. When he started truly going downhill is when he started making really elaborate, in-depth plots, like Lady in the Water, or The Happening, or After Earth. So if you look at his track record, you can see that the simplistic stories are when he does his best work. That's why I was excited when I saw these trailers, that this was going to be a very, very remote location, very simple story, at least from the trailers. It may look that way, and it is, and that's why it works as a nice little thriller. They are secluded in this farmhouse in the woods, and so when stuff starts going down, you really are scared for these two kids. And you really want to know what's going to happen, and you really are invested, or at least I was really invested in this movie. I really did enjoy the suspense in this movie. To be fair, I don't want to oversell it. This isn't horrifyingly scary or anything, but it's a little suspenseful, and I thought the tension worked well enough. There are scenes where I'm legitimately creeped out by these two old people. Also, the nice thing is, the kid actors are really good in this. You really believe both these kids. You believe their brother and sister. As many reviewers have said about this movie, the younger brother totally steals this show. He's a wannabe rapper, and just out of the blue, he'll just start rapping about just any topic that is given to him at the moment. And it is hilarious. It sounds on paper like this could be a little obnoxious, but honestly, it's done really well, and it's legitimately funny every time he does it. Sometimes I'll admit it is weirdly placed, because Shaymalan does try to do a horror-comedy mix a little bit in this movie. And sometimes the comedy's weirdly placed in the suspenseful scenes, and it doesn't quite work, because then all of a sudden you're laughing really hard at the scene that's supposed to be really funny amongst all the suspense that's already there. So it takes you out of the suspense moment a little bit. So that's unfortunate. And of course, because it's a Shaymalan movie, there is a twist in this movie. And honestly, I didn't really see it coming. When it was revealed, I was kind of like, huh, how did I not think of that? which isn't necessarily bad. I mean, that just means you distracted me enough from really trying to think about the most obvious of twists with your movie, because I was engaged enough in the movie. So that's a good sign of a good suspense thriller. If I'm not automatically like, oh, that's totally the twist. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's totally what's going to happen. Oh, see it happen. There you go. So, good job on your end, Shaymalan. Excellent writing in this movie. I'm not kidding, guys. Like, I'm not trying to be a Shaymalan biased. If you saw my Lady in the Water review, you know I'm not, like, biased towards Shaymalan or anything. I hated Lady in the Water. I think The Happening is hilariously awful, but I think it's awful. I haven't seen Last Airbender, but I dread when I will eventually see it to review it. Afterwards, I despised that movie. So, I want to make it clear that I'm not a Shaymalan bias, like, oh, Shaymalan, he can do no wrong or something. Like, no, not at all. Ugh, no. He's done major crap, and he really had to turn it around to get back on track and get any respect again. And I think this is a good turnaround. Does that mean he's fully turned around and we can fully anticipate great from him? No. I really do hope he keeps in a simplistic trajectory, because this is where he's best at. He's best at writing and directing in this sort of area of film. Not in major blockbusters like After Earth. Stay the hell away from those, Shaymalan. You are no Joss Whedon. You are no J.J. Abrams. Just stay the hell away. Honestly, I did enjoy this movie. This is the best Shaymalan movie since Signs. This is even better than The Village. I thought the acting all around was great. The look of the house and the woods and everything was creepy. The found footage element was really well placed, as I've already said. Just, this movie's really good. It has flaws. Don't get me wrong. This is not even close to a perfect movie. But it's a good movie. It's a step in the right direction for Shyamalan's career. And I'm going to give this movie 4 out of 5 stars. So if you like this video, I got plenty more reviews coming out this month. So like, comment, subscribe so you can check them all out. See ya.